I'm Dr. Lindsay Coble.
Dr. Noelle Crosby, and we're the Sound Sisters, and this is the Hearing Diaries. Today, we're going to talk about building a personal brand, social media, how to get noticed, and just some tips and strategies and some things that we're not doing that we're going to want to do a little more in the future. And
Things that we
being
can be
an
better at.
older, yeah, well, being an older audiologist or older person in general, I don't feel like it comes as naturally to
Yeah.
me as it does to Lindsay. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to let her share a little bit. Lindsay, what I feel, and really how I feel like I met you was your presence on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about LinkedIn is I never went on LinkedIn. I'm like, I don't know why I need another Facebook and what good is
Mm-hmm.
it? And then I started just going on it a little bit more. And I was so impressed with some of the younger audiologists
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, you
Mm-hmm.
being one of them. And I don't know if we would have ever met because I never really saw you that much on Facebook
No,
before.
no.
And I
Yeah.
just, you had a really strong LinkedIn presence. And I'm like, she seems to, really be somebody that I would relate to. And then, we connected about the managed care
Yeah.
panel when I
Panel.
was in
Mm-hmm.
Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so tell me a little bit about your ideas for being more present on LinkedIn. How do you get
Mm-hmm.
more people to respond to you, and where do you
Well,
get your ideas about things?
I think something that's like intimidating is an audiologist is just putting yourself out there. Like building a brand sounds so like I'm a doctor of audiology. I see my patients. Why do I need to build my brand? But I feel
Right,
like if you are passionate about something or you feel the urge to have a voice or you want to speak at a conference someday or there you have to start putting yourself out there so people start to recognize your name. And I think when people think of LinkedIn, they think, well, I'm not looking for a job. Why would I
right.
put
That's
myself
something
on
I
LinkedIn? You know, I own my practice. I'm not looking for a job either. But what I found is I really enjoy interacting with people's like thought leaders who are
yes,
posting on LinkedIn. And so that's where I found myself like, I want to be this. And I like to put out real life things, which is what I get feedback from so many people of you just seem
oh yeah,
so
you are so
real.
real, and
And
yes,
I'm like, well, why not? Because I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I've worked at a few different types of environments with the ENT and the hearing aid company. And so I feel like just to be a voice that people can relate to, relatable, it's
yeah.
fun for me. And it's fun to get the feedback and to get people message me on the sides and say, that really resonated with me. But I think LinkedIn is, I've told a couple of my friends who say, how do you know what to post? I
Yeah, I want
don't
to know how you.
overthink it. I don't overthink it. I don't get fancy with Chat GPT. I really, most of the time, write them from the bathtub, to be honest. That's when I think my
You
clearest
got
thoughts.
your
And that's when I'm
your
thinking,
drink, whether it wine or coffee, and
and I just think, I don't know, this seems like something worth sharing. And so I just put it out there. And at first, when I started posting, it was like, ooh, how many people like it? How many people like it? How many interactions do I have? Now I don't really care as much. If I have something worth sharing, I put it out there because I think all of these
yeah,
things, it matters how much you interact with it. So the more you post, the more you're going to show up on people's feeds. So
yeah,
yeah, that's LinkedIn. And I would tell anybody, just be yourself. Be yourself. Put Post your thoughts on research articles, post your thoughts on hot topics, and don't be afraid to get controversy or disagreements
yeah,
back. That's okay. That's why you're putting yourself out there. But
yeah.
yeah, so that's how LinkedIn's work for me. I think you should share how you've built your brand because I feel like it was very different from your
Right.
involvement in your state organization and how you are so involved in like AAA and organizations like that. Talk about that
Yeah.
branding.
Yeah, I think that I just graduated. I think, it was probably more so around COVID, when all
Mm,
the groups
mm-hmm.
started coming out and maybe some of the groups were a little bit before, but I feel like that's when a lot of us connected on a much bigger level
Yeah.
through Facebook. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Facebook was like my first um,
Mm-hmm.
really way of connecting to other
Mm-hmm.
people. And so I was in all the groups on Facebook and I used to post a lot. I was
Mm-hmm.
on Happy Hour and Antics and then when April and Amit made Odd Boss, I would really post a lot. I don't so much anymore because I find there's a lot more negativity
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Odd Boss is a good group, but a lot
Hmm.
of them, I'll once in a while go on but I don't really post as much anymore. But I feel like that's
Hmm.
how I got my start. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to set up these other groups.
Hmm.
So I felt like we needed to have that third party page. So
Hmm.
I set that up to help people learn about what's available, what they need to know, if they need pricing, if they want to know what others are doing. And I just started doing those videos on that
Hmm.
page too.
Hmm.
But so I did that. And then I set up a Florida audiology page that wasn't related to the Florida Academy, but it was just audiologists
In
from
general. Yeah.
Florida.
Hmm.
And I kind of like get to be in the middle of things
Yeah.
for some reason. But then, like for more patient based, I am Dr. Purple. So that's my TikTok name. It's Dr. Purple AUD. So like you
Hmm.
were saying about establishing a brand,
Yeah.
my office is purple, my hair is purple, I have a purple chair, So I kind of started with that brand very slowly, and then I realized even if I didn't want purple hair anymore, I have to keep it because that's how my
That's who I
patients know
am.
me. That's how oh, Dr. Purple, we're going to see
Uh-huh.
Dr. Purple today. And so I did establish that brand, and it's kind of fun. I really do
Hmm.
like that.
It becomes
Um,
who you are. You live your
yeah,
brand. Yeah.
yeah. And I do post on TikTok a little bit. I
Hmm.
know you and I were talking about that.
Hmm.
And the thing that scares me about that is, well, I'm going to try to be braver this year, is to be willing to take the criticism or the trolls. Like if
Yeah.
somebody wants to
Yeah.
say, you
Trolls.
look ugly and old and bad, and I guess I
Yeah.
just have to accept, okay,
Yes.
that person doesn't,
That's
know what
part of
they're
it.
talking about because I
Yeah.
know I don't. But
Yeah. You can't hurt my feelings. You are a
okay,
troll. Yeah.
be tougher. When you go to the fair and they have the guy that you would like throw a ball at and get him wet and they would sink and
Yeah.
they try to
Dunk
say
tank.
mean things to
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
So you go want to throw the ball. I would always like go as far away from them as I could.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
want
See, TikTok is your journey for 2026. That'll
yeah,
make you have tough skin.
it's
Forget
going to
these
get me
people.
tougher. So I'm
Yeah.
going to learn things I need to do to have more presence on TikTok because I really do want to educate people on there too. I really do.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from just scrolling through TikTok from doctors, other
Yeah.
doctors, just people in general about things that I would have never thought
Thought
I would
about?
want to know
Yeah.
about, but I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's really interesting. I feel like I'm much more well-rounded because of
Mm-hmm.
my experience with TikTok.
With
So
TikTok.
I need to
Yeah.
be willing to, be able to share what I know as well. So
When I feel
that's
like
my
I
goal.
started a TikTok, I posted a couple of things on TikTok and I actually had a one patient schedule from what they saw. But then
Oh,
I
yeah,
kind of did the same thing. I'm like not a big TikToker myself. So like
right,
I would rather be on LinkedIn or Facebook. So I don't really scroll through TikTok a lot. And so I don't ever think to go there. But I feel
right.
like it's such a platform. Like you said, you hear from other doctors on TikTok. So yeah, maybe
Yeah,
I need to consider TikTok. In my head,
yeah.
I need to be better about consistency on YouTube. But,
Yes, me
you
too.
know,
Yeah,
maybe I'm missing the boat and maybe more of our patients or their grandkids are on TikTok than YouTube anymore. I don't know. It's
yeah.
hard to know.
I think those two are the most like I've never been an Instagrammer. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just never really got into it. And I
Yeah.
know a lot of people did, but I don't know why. I just never really liked it as much. So I'm more the TikTok, Facebook, and
Yeah.
now, after seeing and observing LinkedIn, I'm trying to be more active on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. But I have a question for you about the
Hmm.
LinkedIn thing.
Hmm.
How do you get more people to see the things that you post? Just by interacting with them more,
I don't
responding to
know. I mean,
them? Like
I
I
think
haven't figured
there's
that out.
I don't know. I don't overthink it. I think there's, when you look at like LinkedIn experts or people to like grow your page, I think it says like you're supposed to post at least a couple times a week. The more you interact with the commenters on your post, the better. The more you interact with other LinkedIn posts, the better.
Okay.
I don't even overthink it. I post what I post. If I have time to reply to commenters, I do.
Yeah.
If not, I don't. I just, yeah,
Yeah. You
put
just
myself
kind of
out
have
there and I feel like
organically have
slowly,
found a
yeah,
way.
I feel like
Yeah.
organically more people visit my profile and follow it. And yeah, it's very
Yeah.
organic. I don't do anything fancy with LinkedIn beyond
Yeah.
posting.
Well, let's talk about like Facebook like
Yeah.
Facebook for me as a friend page and
Mm-hmm.
as a like connection to people I know, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily as a professional
Mm-hmm.
connection, but just
Mm-hmm.
who I am in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the professional side of
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, I really haven't done much with that. Do
Mm-hmm.
you have a work office Facebook
I
page that
do.
you've grown that
I
is
do. Yeah,
there?
our Audiology
Okay.
Always Facebook page has 1,000 followers on it. And
Okay, cool.
and so that I have really poured a
I'll have to
lot
check
into
it
my
out.
marketing. That is like a big marketing engine for Audiology Always, I would say.
Okay.
Um, I feel like we have lots of people who are maybe more my age who follow it, but then tell their grandparents or their neighbors, this is where you should go. And so I recognize that. And I feel like I try to post content that resonates with patients. Like, oh, I see myself. That person's like me. That was a like experience. And then I also feel like I try to post motherhood content. Who am I? Who are my staff members? What fun things are we doing around the office? And so I feel like my Facebook is it's kind of our brand and kind of who we are in the office. I don't post a lot about, let me review this hearing aid. Let me show you what a
Right.
hearing aid looks like. It's really not that, hardly at all. It's more of who we are as an office. But I think there's an opportunity in 2026 for me to do a little more like audiology side to my Facebook. So that's on my mind too. That
Yeah.
and YouTube, I think
And
are on my
YouTube, yeah.
mind to be a little more of the audiology expert rather
Yes.
than just I'm here as a fun
Yeah, so it'd be
audiologist and
interesting to see,
provider, a little
yeah,
expertise to it too.
if that like grows your page more
Yeah,
or
yeah,
and then like our YouTube, with our
yeah,
Sound Sisters,
yeah.
we're looking to investigate how we can grow that as
Hmm.
well. You and I are. And so I don't know, I'm trying to do a little bit more research about like what do you need to do to have more views and
Yeah. More followers, more views, more likes. It's all about like the interactions and
yeah. And
yeah.
who do we want our market to be? I mean, I feel like it's mostly just women in healthcare and hearing
Yeah,
healthcare.
right, right.
Hearing healthcare women, but also men who want to learn about their women in hearing
Yeah,
healthcare
to know where we're coming from.
and what we have to
Exactly.
say, but
Yeah.
not necessarily patients, I guess. Although there's been a couple videos that we've done, a couple shows that we've done where I'm like, oh, I want to send that out to my
Mm,
patients because I
yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
like the one on the mindfulness and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's a topic they need to also to know about. So maybe we'll have a little bit more of that too, that can be more patient
Yeah,
focused as
a little
well.
more patient focused. Yeah,
Um,
that's a really good
yeah.
idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was a great conversation. And I know we do have some TikTok famous audiologists that will
we
be
sure
coming
do.
on
Yeah,
in the next quarter or so to share, how that affected them and what they do to try to keep being famous if they
yeah.
like it or, if it's helped them, etc.
What it's really like to be TikTok famous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
we
it's
hear
really
about it.
like.
Mm-hmm. Love it. But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. What a fun conversation about personal
Yeah.
brand. Kind of an
Personal
intimidating
branding.
topic, but I love to talk about it.
Yeah. So be curious about if you want to develop your personal brand. And if you have one, let us know what it is and let us know if
Yeah,
you want to come on the show and share it with us.
yeah.
So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Sound Sisters.